The message of today is very, very important. Jesus said they were like sheep without a shepherd. And what does this mean? It simply means they had no leadership. They had no leadership. Or they lack the presence of a leader. So, and we can see this in the first reading. There was shepherd, but no leadership. That's why Jesus said in that first reading, God said that He will punish them. He will punish them. He will deal with them because the leadership there, the shepherds were not given leadership. So as he said, woe to the shepherds who mislead and scatter the flock of my pasture. Woe to them. He went on to assure the flock of his pasture that he will gather them, he will take care of them. But as for the shepherds that were not providing leadership, he will deal with them. So in the gospel, there was no leadership, there was no shepherd. No shepherd, no leadership. So, in a way, they are all the same. Take, for instance, somebody says he wants to take his life, and another person sees him and asks, why do you want to take your life? And he says, because I have many bills to pay. I am owing heavily. I don't have any money to pay. So the best thing for me is to end my life and end everything. And the person that asks him why he is planning to do this, asks him again, where do you work? He said, I'm a banker. He said, oh, you are a banker. You see money. Money is there in the bank, and why are you trying to take your life? Myself, I don't even have any work. I don't even have anything to do. I'm still searching to get something to do. So why are you taking your life? Your own is better. You work in the bank and you see a lot of money. So, but in these two, are they not the same? The first one sees money, but it's not his money. He can't spend the money that does not belong to him. The other one don't even see money. So in the first reading, there was leadership, there was shepherd, no leadership. In the second, there was no leadership, no money, just like the instance I gave. So, what is the problem? In the first place, the first reading, the shepherds who are supposed to take care of the flock of God's pasture were busy either eating the flock or busy doing something other than what they have been asked to do. You know, this issue of leadership is very important. Let's look at the leadership in governance. You know, some people who read the newspapers or who listen to, maybe go to Facebook, I don't know, because many things happening in Africa is not in the major media outlets. So somebody called Nigeria a zoo, and that person that called Nigeria a zoo is also a Nigerian. So, and the government is very furious. Why do you call a whole country of over 2 million people a zoo. I don't want to mention what other people called Nigeria, but what Nigerians called Nigeria. And they were very furious. Why should you call Nigeria a zoo? Forgetting that even every country has some element of a zoo, you know? Because in the zoo, the bigger and the stronger animals are in their own section. When they are hungry, they know that they will have something to eat, so they don't go looking for the smaller animals to do what? To eat, to devour. There is rule of law in the zoo. Everything is kept in place. But in the jungle, there is no leadership. It is survival by all means. If the stronger animals, elephants, see little animals, they can do what? Devour them because there is no rule. So in a way, somehow, we can also say that some countries are better defined as even jungle, not even zoo. So in this country, we have good leadership, no matter how you interpret it. Yes, because everybody is playing his or her own wing. And there is security, even though some bad people still, shoot other innocent people, but there is some level of security. So, but a situation where there are places where no security, is that not a jungle? So it's even better to call such a place a zoo, is a respect, is honor. So, but that's not where I want to focus our reflection today. I want to bring it home to us, the importance of leadership in the family. You can also make the family a zoo, a little zoo, or a jungle. You are parents, and if your children don't have direction, what they should do, what they don't do, there is lack of leadership. There is shepherd, but no leadership. And just as God is telling the people that have been assigned to take care of his own flock, the flock of his pasture, the same way, if I am a teacher, I am a parent, and I don't take care of my children, I'm also liable to what God is saying today. So let's forget about the government, even the church, because leadership is in different levels. As a priest, this message is directly directed to me. As a parent, this message is directly directed to you. The same thing, you are a manager in wherever you are, your work. You are a principal or a teacher in the classroom. We have been given this responsibility. So where there is a shepherd, there should be what? Leadership. If there is shepherd and there is no leadership, then there is nothing. It's just like the example I gave of somebody working in the bank. And what do we need in order to do what? To be good leaders, either in the church, in our families, in the government, and wherever we are. There is something very important that Jesus showed today. Last Sunday, Jesus sent his disciples to go and proclaim the good news to go and heal the sick, to go and give message of hope to the hopeless. He sent them out. And today, listening to the gospel, we see that they have come back to do what? To give what is called feedback. They told Jesus what they did, what they were able to achieve. So they have worked so hard. And what did they say? They have taught people, and they have come back to report back to him. And Jesus said, come away. We need to do what? To be by ourselves. There is need for you to do what? To come back, reflect on what you have done, have a little rest, regain your energy to go back. So when Jesus took them out to a deserted place, what happened? That's the major virtue that I want us to take home today. They went because people were coming. Even though they have really worked hard, and Jesus saw the need for them to rest, they now went out. But before they could reach there, people were already there waiting for them, because they imagined where they were heading to, and they were already there waiting for them. What did Jesus do? That's the question. Jesus looked at them and saw their needs. He did not say, oh, we have worked so hard, even though it was so important for them to rest. But Jesus looked at them and saw them like sheep without shepherd. He had compassion. That word compassion. If you are a government official, you are a president, you are a governor, you are a senator, you are whatever you are, and you lack compassion, it will be difficult for you to lead people. If you are a principal in the school, if you are a teacher and you lack compassion, there must be a problem in your leadership. If you are a priest, you are a deacon, you are a bishop, and you also lack compassion, there will be some problem in your leadership. If you are a parent, more importantly, parents, because the church is a miniature church. The family is the nucleus of the church. Charity begins at home. So we have that compassion that moved Jesus, even though they had worked so hard. He didn't chase them away. He didn't frown at them. He didn't ask them, didn't you hear us go? Didn't you hear me tell my disciples that we needed to have some rest? He did not do that, but he was moved out of compassion. The same way you are supervising people, at times there are human elements. Even though law is very important, but law without conscience lacks the objective. So my dear friends, today, it is about leadership, and we are all leaders. Then for the children, the message is also directed to you today. Because when your parents send you on an errand or to school, there is what is called feedback. Just as the disciples came back today, we are reporting to Jesus what they were able to achieve. Feedback. Feedback means that you've been sent to school and you go to school, and when you come back, you can also tell your mommy, your daddy, this is what we're taught in the school. And that will give your mommy, your grandma, some sense of, oh, he is doing well. She is representing me well. She is attentive to the class. And when after the final, you have to be proud to show your parents, this is what I was able to achieve. That is feedback. You're sent to go and do something, you come back, you tell your daddy, your mommy, this is how this message you sent me, this is how I have been able to do what? To deliver it. This is feedback. And all of us, we also, even as children, need to give feedback. We also have to give feedback in different ways. If there is nobody we give feedback to God. So we are responsible. We are all required to be accountable. So we pray today, my dear friends, that this virtue that Jesus projected today, virtue of compassion, that all of us will pray for it if we don't have it. Because if we don't have compassion, we not feel, we not understand the feeling of others. We only think about ourselves, not minding what the next person is passing through.